that mood, that atmosphere in the stadium is one of the reasons why your home form is so poor?
I think mainly is on the pitch. We need to improve. It's mainly there. We need to perform, and we need to, no matter what the mood is, find a good structure and calmness and do the right thing throughout 90 minutes. I think there is a reason why some, how can you say, home grounds are more, how can you say, successful for whatever reason. Because there's also that part of we can be pushed forward, which I definitely feel we do a lot of times. So the more we can do that as well, the better.
Do you feel that any of the players are afraid to do certain things or become or confidence drains quickly because of?
But I think also now it's like with everything, sometimes a narrative can be truth, sometimes it can not be true. But there's a narrative out there and there's a lot of talk. It's a fact, by the way, we haven't won that many times at home, so that I can't run away from. But also, I don't think the can say relationship with the fans is that bad. If it's like the big talk of the town. So every game we go out there, I definitely feel the fans is behind us, and we keep going. Of course, last game was I think everyone was a little bit shell-shocked in the stadium, from players to me, to the fans. 6 minutes down, we all believe that now let's come out flying against a team that we respect, but we, on a good day, had a very good chance to beat.
Is there anything to be gained by taking Vic out of the firing line?
In what way, sorry?
Leaving him out.
Leaving what? No, not for me. I don't know. He made one mistake, so yeah. Hi.
You started slowly in terms of results at Bromby and Brentford before turning things around there. Obviously, all managers need time when it comes to the clubs, but what is it maybe about your teams in particular that take a bit of time to adapt to your method?
Good question. At least I didn't. I started a little bit better here the first 8 games or 10 games than I did in the two other clubs, which is probably good. Yeah, I think there could be different reasons for that. I think when I took over in Brøndby, it was a completely new start. The club was close to get relegated the year before, even was a big club. And bankrupt, so we started more or less from scratch. So that was built into it. Where I think we didn't win in 8, and then we was unbeaten in 9. Brentford the same. We lost 8 out of 10, and then we were unbeaten in 10. Now it's a little bit the other way around. I just know that I built consistency and I built competitiveness and culture, and that will always take a bit of time. And the big thing here, we want to build it while we need to compete every single week, 3 times a week or 2 times a week, depending on how you see it. Yeah, it's natural.
Do you feel under more pressure now in this situation than you did in those starts of those 2 clubs?
In a way, I got more experience, so I know what's needed. You can say the first job in Brøndby was my first senior job in a massive club in Denmark with massive exposure. I would say, if anything, a little less. But of course, I know there is, how can you say, pressure or attention or that we need to win.
And there's been a lot of talk this season about being a new era in terms of the ownership and being sort of ambitious and demanding success. Are you confident they'll be patient and give you that time?
Yeah, I'm very confident. I think the ownership seems like, of course, I just starting to know them, but seems like good guys, intelligent people, know how to run business, learning about football, learning more about how they become owners. And I think when we're dealing with intelligent people, they can see every successful, dynasty, every successful club is taking time. You don't have one showcase. Yeah, you have one where you maybe win 1 year or the second year, but you can't sustain it if you don't build something sustainable. Impossible.
From afar, it looks like you've left an environment at Brentford that's really sensible and pragmatic, and everyone kind of is on board with that and understands it. When it comes to Spurs, which is a much more emotional club, certainly within the fan base, but probably to an extent inside the building too. Do you have that feeling that there's this big difference now in what you have to think about and those emotions you have to manage compared to what you've done in your career before?
Yeah. This is more of on another scale, of course, but more like my first job in Brøndby. Just you compare some of it, where, as you say, Brentford was in a different way. No doubt about that. And you can say it's always a challenge when there's big expectations, and no problem with the big expectation if you also have how can you say, earn the right to really compete to the big expectations, which I think is fair to say we haven't done. As I said it, I think then I started, we haven't been able to compete in a cup tournament and Europe and Premier League in the last 6 years. And now we're just coming on the back of one season where we finished 17th and we did fantastic and won the Europa League. Now we want to compete both places, so which is natural. Will take a little bit of time without the normal four front players that scored basically all the goals. So that no problem. It's just the way it is. We will get there. I'm not in doubt of that. Not in doubt.
You're a manager at a big club, with a lot of players to manage, a huge amount of change. You've got a lot on your plate all the time. Do you not kind of feel like you've got enough to deal with before worrying about your own fans, building your own players, and then getting grilled by us in the press conference?
It's a short answer, yes. I think the more I can spend time on the players and figure out all the small tweaks we can do to be bit by bit more and more competitive, the better it will be. But hey, it's part of it. I will not even say unfortunately I'm enjoying these press conferences, but I have of course to meet up here, and that's part of it. And the fans, it is start or end saying with what I start saying, we're nothing without the fans.
I guess it's just there are more things to drain you here than perhaps before.
I think that's fair. And then I think that linked with your stepping into a new club, you get to know new players, staff, and how do you know them before and you need to invest time in them. And then of course with the program, that's of course training as well. But hey, that's part of it. That's why I took the job.
John, hi Thomas. Can I just clarify the remarks about that you made after the match? What you just said everything about. Overall, you don't boo during the match. Seems sensible, statesmanlike, diplomatic. It's just the not true fans bit seems the opposite of that. It seems confrontational and controversial. Are you standing by that?
I think is what I'm standing by. What I think when I said the not true Spurs fan, I am 100% not convinced that I meant with that, just to make it sure, to make it clear, was almost a mocking of one of their own players. So he makes a mistake. I think there's a little bit of booing after that without me, as I remember it. You probably have seen him after. I think the next ball he clears, there's like a cheering. You can't do that. The opponents can do that. Can't do that as a fan. So in that sense, that's where I would stand by that quote. I said that. The booing during, I don't think it's helpful, but we're all different. That's what I mean by it.
It also seems that the players decided not to clap the fans after the game. Are you happy with that? Are you going to instruct them to do that, or are you going to let them do what they feel is right?
I think, again, it's important that we connect with the fans. I think it's pretty obvious that away from home we go to the away fans and thank for the travelling and support. And that's, I think also is pretty, maybe it's not as consistent. That was maybe not as many that clapped after the game, but I still saw a few. I myself did it as well. So sometimes that can be emotional, whatever. But I will always say that clap the fans after the game. Maybe don't have to do the big loop, but
So there's a specific instruction you will.
there's not a specific instruction. That's what I will recommend.
Yeah. And what have you said to the players about this relationship? So they had a meeting after the Chelsea game, which was. You're in the middle of all this. It's not you're doing it. You've got the middleman in the
Yeah, and that's fair. That's why I'm sitting here. I think as to make it clear, I'm always a little bit surprised at how things can get out of a meeting inside the club. That's always a little bit okay. But you guys are doing a good job because it's not coming out if you guys are not doing a good job. So well done for that. I actually mean that. It's not ironically. But we didn't have a meeting about the fans. We had a debrief after the game about the game as we do all the time, and it was pretty evident after that game. That was the first time there was a little bit talk about fans and relationship and all that. So we had to talk about that, which is natural.
Newcastle ideal away game because you have to be a true fan to go.
True, definitely. I don't think there's any ideal game. I think the next one is always an opportunity to turn things around with a good performance and hopefully 3 points. You're welcome.
Please. Thomas, does it surprise you how much scrutiny there is on your words and all the reactions that you have to any sort of incident? And does it show this kind of one of the biggest challenges you've ever faced?
Surprised me, I don't know. I knew when, of course, you don't know to what extent or how it would be or whatever. I just, of course, knew that there would be a lot of scrutiny and focus on small details, wording that way or that way. But yeah, I'm also a bit pragmatic. It is what it is. You just have to deal with it and sit here and answer the questions in the best possible way I can answer them. And I just get completely reminded that is a very, very good idea. I read nothing because there's 1,000 articles out there, there's 1,000 podcasts, there's thousands social media experts, and everyone have an opinion. And if I read all of them, I will probably be more irritated than not. So it's better just to get the questions here and the odd one, get the reminder before from Anthony, and then take from there.
Did you anticipate it might get like this quite quickly if results didn't go your way, given what happened last season, the number of home defeats, etc., etc.?
Yeah, I expected that we will have a bad spell at some point, and then there will be a lot of talks, of course.